Welcome, everyone, to Futbol W. I'm Krieger, and I am sitting here with one of my best girls, Crystal Dunn. I was writing down her accolades, actually, and I almost ran out of, ink of my pen because there's so many. But Mama Marcel, Olympic medalist, NWSL champion, World Cup champion. I mean, NWSL Golden Boot and MVP in the same year, 2015. We were playing together in DC. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I was just saying that, honestly, everyone knows you as Allie, but I have to call you Kriegs. Like, that is, your will forever be Kriegs to me. And yeah.
I was just watching that video, and I was wondering where our highlights together were. But
where we at?
Maybe, I don't know. But you are incredible. You're an incredible person, most importantly, an incredible footballer, and I'm so excited to have a chat with you today. I think of you as just such a creator on the field. You are brilliant. You would be in my starting 11 any opportunity I could get as a coach. And you're one of the best problem solvers in the attack that I've ever seen, I've ever played alongside. And you're so versatile and dynamic on the field. And we'll get into that a little bit later and how you just can play every single position. But first and foremost, like, how are you? How is it being back, in your hometown, in your home state, in New York, and representing a new team?
Yeah, I mean, this has been a crazy, crazy year. I've been enjoying seeing my family more than I've ever seen them in the last 10 years. I mean, family's everything to me. It's like my biggest motivator. It's my biggest escape from when, like, life gets so crazy and you feel like so tunnel vision. You just feel like, will I ever get out of this, like, funk that I'm in? And it's like you see, your mom and dad or your brother, your sister, or whoever is near and dear to you. And I just feel like it reminds you that you are so much bigger than your sport. But long story short, I'm doing great. I love, like, just being home, being able to see familiar faces, and my whole family being home is amazing.
I know, and I'm sure they can help you too. Like, just with Marcel and being close, I'm sure they enjoy that. And coming to the games now.
Yes, at the games, my son can grow up with his cousins. I think, like, it's just incredible to have people who have known you for so long just be on this journey with you and be able to, like, see you play and do the things that you love doing. Because I know for a long time, it's like my parents would, like, watch games on TV and it's just like, it's not the same,
Yeah.
So it's been a fun year.
Good. And obviously soccer-wise, the team's doing well. How does it feel being, in a new squad? I know that's difficult. There's some challenges, but also you're playing with such great players too, and who you play with and have played with for a long time. Other national team players there. So how's that going? What are the expectations? And obviously, a big game this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, this transition has been not the easiest. I think, coming to a new team, new coach, we've done this before. So it's not like, stepping into this year, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, everything's gonna be seamless. I do think the start of the year, it's like you're getting in with a new team, but my preseason with the team was so short. It's like, I had 7 days and then I was in with the national team for like 6 weeks at the Gold Cup. So it was kind of just like a really crazy start of the year. But I think, the team is settled in now. I feel like I've settled more into a role that I feel like I can just embrace and execute on a weekly basis. And, it's NWSL, like, it's a dogfight every week. So it's like, you feel good one week, you may not feel good the next week, but you're just like, you gotta stay in it. You have to just like buy into the idea that it is a forever journey that you're just kind of on. And I think the team is weathering a lot of storms and finding ways of just, adapting to each team and problem solving. And I think, we're in a good place.
Yeah, I mean, it's from the outside looking in, I love coming to the games. I love watching the team play. Obviously, I missed it, and I wish I hung on one more year just because
come on
you were
back
there.
Whenever you want,
And I'm like, Juan, do you think I can maybe make the cut for the trade, the trade date, just to play with you and some of the other.
I know, I'm a year too short.
It's okay. Listen.
Why'd you do this to me?
I don't. Club football now it really matters, right? The way you perform week in and week out, and that carries on to if you're going to be chosen for the national team. It changed the model to pay to play, and now it's really important to show up. Definitely. Like you said, show up and show out.
Yes.
And then you get called and you're playing at the highest level. You've been there for so many years. You've been so consistent and so confident. And now one of your former coaches from club, as you played over in Europe for Chelsea, now she's coaching the national team.
Yes.
How does it feel for you to, one, have Emma at this level, And what is like the adjustment of her coaching style from club to international? Like, is there a little bit of a difference, or is it similar, or how has that been?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I was so happy that they announced that Emma was going to be the coach for the national team. I think it's such a fitting job for her. She wins, you know, she finds ways to win. She has done so well with Chelsea. She was building something so incredible when I was there playing for Chelsea. And then now, fast forward 7, 8 years, I'm like, the team has been so dominant. And so her getting this this opportunity to coach the women's national team, I thought was so fitting for her. I reached out to her and was like, just praising how excited I am and how much I think the team is going to benefit so much from her. Just tactically, she pushes you to be a student of the game, you know, and I think she invests in you not just as a player, but as a person. And I think that that is something that you don't get a lot. I think in our careers, we play under coaches that are like, you know, winning is everything. And it's like, yeah, I want to win too. But it's like tapping into that person and who we are as individuals, I think gets the best out of us, you know, and I think that that's something she does very consistently, and she's very intentional with her way about getting to know people. So I think that that's going to be a benefit for us. And I think, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited for this summer. It's going to be a big one. I'm excited because the selection process for this go around was not easy. It was a battle for everyone to compete up against each other and to make the roster. And I think, you know, everyone was committed to the journey, and I know Emma coming in kind of on the later end of the selections was hard for everyone. I know it was hard for her because she wanted to be here with us, but at the same time, she wanted to close that chapter with Chelsea the way that she wanted to, and you know, we were so supportive of that.
And I consider you a leader because, you know, you've been on the team for a long time. You've played consistently. You're the type of person who wants the team to do well, and you're going to do everything you can in your power to make that happen. And that's why I also value you, because you bring people together and you also know what's expected of you. So have you thought of yourself too, like as that, you know, in that leadership role? And if so, like what type of leader do you see yourself being?
Yeah.
And are you happy to be that?
Well, first of all, you're talking about being old. I'm like, I feel old as well.
Girl, you're 32,
yes,
please.
but like, I honestly, it's like, I must be having so much fun because time is flying by. But I do think like, you know, I've never worn a captain's band for any team I've been on, but in many ways, I truly believe people feel very comfortable coming up to me, asking me for advice, asking me for, you know, just any help in any way. And I've noticed that I am a leader in many ways a couple years ago when I felt like I could take on and have that capacity to step outside myself and be able to give more to others, you know, and I think it's not an easy job. It's not. And I think people can try to do it from time to time, but I think being a leader is consistently being able to do that. And I feel like I have embraced that ability to be able to be like, it's not always about me. Like, yes, we are individuals. It's like I have my own goals that I want to set out, but it's about the team success, you know, and being able to have that balance of giving to myself, but also giving to the team. I look forward to taking that role on. Like you said, it's like when you've been in that environment for so long, you know what is going to help the team versus hurt the team, you know, and not everybody can give everything that they absolutely can in every single moment. But I think being able to bring people together and also acknowledge that, like, we're humans. Like, there's days where I'm not going to have it. There's days where I just want to show up, put my cleats on, and go home.
But I got 10%. You don't need to bring that.
I got 10%.
The 90.
I can give you 100% of my 10%, but that's all I have. But I think just being able to acknowledge, like, leadership is what the team needs, and even if it can't be for me in every single moment, being able to ask for help, being able to bring people together is something that I like really, really look forward to.
Being a mom and also being a professional athlete, it is so hard. Being a mom itself is one of the toughest jobs. And then you add in having to be a professional athlete and playing at the highest level. Like, how do you navigate that? And how do you balance, you know, day to day, showing up 100% for both jobs?
Well, we spoke about how you may only have 10% and that you're going to give your 100% that you have of that 10%. Maybe sometimes it's 5, but it's a balance. I mean, it's just like, there's days where I'm like, I'm so energized. I'm like, I love being a mom. I'm just feeling so great. I'm just skipping into training. And then there's days I'm dragging my carcass into training because I didn't sleep well, the baby didn't sleep well, or like just having an off day, you know, but I think, you know, you take the days that you get and you just build on it. And, you know, sometimes when your morning starts off not that great, you're kind of like, all right, I still got time to like turn this boat around.
You're like, Juan, I'm only doing one set of 11 to 11, okay?
Exactly.
I'll be watching from the side.
You just got to manage yourself. And I think the way I describe motherhood to people is like, you're so filled with joy in so many ways, but at the same time you're exhausted. But then you're filled with joy, and then you're exhausted. You're in this conundrum at all times, but it's like what your child gives you is something that you just don't even know how to explain it, because it's so incredible. Like my son just making me laugh every day reminds me that I am so much more than going to work and kicking a soccer ball around. Like we've been having a lot more earlier games, like kickoff times. And so after a game, I come home and he's like, "Mommy, chase me." Mommy's been chasing people around all day. I can't chase you around. But it's that reminder that I'm like, he does not care. Like he cares that I'm his mom. Like the number one job for him is that I'm his mom, you know? And I think it humbles you. It keeps you so grounded of just knowing that like, whether you have a great game, whether you have an off game, like this kid is just kind of like, just be here with me, Mom. Like, you know?
It's like win, lose, or draw.
Yes.
You walk in the door, you see them, you know, you see your kids smile, and you're just like, everything else fades away.
Everything.
Like, nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters. It's. I mean, you can contest. It's like last season for you. It's like just having them surrounding you with love and just like it's incredible. It's something you cannot even explain to people.
Right, and I would say like I would get mom guilt sometimes, and I know we've spoken about this before, but you know, it's like as long as I am present when I am home, then that's all that matters.
That's it.
Yeah.
And surrounding them with people that love them. And even if they can't be you in that moment, you are doing everything as a mom to make sure that they are taken care of and loved.
Right. And making sure that you also get, you know, you prioritize yourself and that you get time for yourself. What's something outside of soccer that, you know, helps you relax from all the pressure and the stress that, you know, football brings?
Sometimes it could be my kid, sometimes it's not my kid because he's crazy. But I think finding time with my husband and just going out to dinner is like a way for me to like.
I saw y'all go out the other night.
I'm reminding people that like, listen, I'm still fun. I still do things. But just because it's like, you know, your home is your safe space in many ways, but I think your home also could remind you of like chaos. Like I almost stubbed my toe in a Lego the other day and I was so upset. Because I'm just like, okay, this is a death trap. Like, you know, it's crazy. But at the same time, it's like being able to, you know, go on walks and spend time with people outside of your home, I think is also like really key. And so I think I've been leaning more into just like, you know, finding little things. Like I'm a simple person. Like I don't really like need grand gifts and things like that. I'm like, just take me out to a nice dinner once in a while. That's all I ask for.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, like this little glass of wine, just a little. Let's just like have a little fun, okay? Okay, so, you know, being a professional athlete is a 24-hour job.
Yes.
Right? Like not many people think that. They think we show up, we go to training 2 hours a day, and then you're like, you're good to go. But it's definitely like a 24-hour job, you know, because you have training, you have recovery, nutrition, sleep, all that. And what is something that you think that people don't understand about professional athletes?
I think the world is catching on to the fact that we are human beings first. Like I think like mental health is something that is such a big topic nowadays that I'm so happy it is, because I think people just think it's automatic for us. We hop out of bed, we drive to training, we train, and everything is all good and gravy. And I think there's so many days in the year where I'm just like, I'm struggling, you know, struggling to find my identity as a player, as a mom, and taking on these new roles. And sometimes you get lost, you know, and you don't always have time in a season to like hit reset, because there's games, there's trainings. And I think I'm hoping people know more about this, but I think people just need to realize like we are always trying our absolute best to entertain, to put on a good show of who we are as players, but at the same time, like we are individuals that have real life problems at home. We have real life problems that go on in our lives, and we don't always perform at our best. And maybe it's things that are going on in our lives that are aiding into this, you know. And I think you know, it's really important that we all take time to like give ourselves that grace, pat ourselves on the back. One thing I've been doing now that I've gotten older is like celebrating myself. I feel like throughout our careers, it's like you just kind of go through, like, you win something, you're kind of like, cool, 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 and then you're like already on to the next thing. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna sit with myself and celebrate and pat myself on the back more and just be able to like find that moment to be like, Crystal, good job. You know, I really feel like I've struggled doing that for myself because I feel like what we do in our careers is all about proving ourselves over and over again, and we don't even hit pause to realize that we've achieved something so incredible. And I think I'm starting to do that more. And I think people need to know that we are humans.
Right.
We have real things that go on in our lives, and we're always trying our best to do the best we can.
And I love that. I feel like, is that just, when you say celebrate, is that just like your internal dialogue being like, I'm doing the best I can. I'm a great mom.
Yes.
I'm showing up for my team. Like,
Celebrating the small things.
or is it like treating yourself?
It's all the above. Listen, the list goes on, I guess, but it's treating yourself, it's celebrating the small things, because I think like the big things is what people remember. Like when you win something big, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, you know, let's celebrate. And it's like, no, like after trainings, I'm like, if I had a bomb training, I'm like, Crystal, you was doing your thing.
Yeah.
Like you're getting your touches, you're getting your preparation. And I think like the little things go so unnoticed, and I'm like, no, I'm taking time to celebrate everything.
And I know football's like, it's so hard, and there's bumps in the road, you know, sometimes there's injuries, there's setbacks, there's just a fight through adversity and resilience. And I mean, it's really a difficult job to stay at the top for so many years. And you've done such an incredible job at doing that. And your career has been so long, and you've been so successful. So what motivates you to still play and show up every single day at the level that you play at?
Yeah, I mean, listen, soccer, you know, is not forever, you know, and I think like staying so present is something that has really been a motivator for me, because as much as you have like those long-term goals, like obviously, you know, stepping into this year, it's like, oh, I want to make the Olympic roster, but it's like, where am I at right now? Like doing everything in this moment is going to ultimately help you get to where you need to get to. And I think my motivator for me is just enjoying the moments that I have in front of me, because you never know what life's going to throw at you. Like you never know if you spoke about injuries. It's like, you don't know if you get injured, and hopefully not, but it's like, who knows? You know, who knows if you come back from playing or whatever. And I think like, it's just so important to just stay present.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think it's difficult to do, especially when you're in the moment, because not every moment is going to be great.
Yeah.
And you have to really navigate, you know, how you can control those feelings like through those moments. So I agree with you on that. And you've also witnessed the evolution of women's soccer we have for so long. I mean, we were here at day one, trying to find some socks for training, like washing our own clothes. Like, I don't know. And, you know, so firsthand, we've seen it all. We really have.
Yes.
But what significant changes have you seen for you personally, you know, in the sport over the years? And what do you think still needs to be done to achieve true equity and like recognition, you know, for the women's sports more broadly?
Yeah, I mean, the investment in the game has obviously gone up a level. You see more fans in the stands. I think across each market, like the attendance has like, you know, doubled in many markets. So I think that's good. Always, you know, butts in the seat. That's always nice. I would say on a even bigger scale, it's like the investment in like the resources, you know, because, you know, as a player, it's like we are putting our body on the line. Like we need all hands on deck to make sure that the players are, you know, protected and being able to perform at the highest level and having the resources to like back us on the field. And I think that has gone up a level, and just like people being educated on, you know, the female body of like what we need to perform to be able to like last, you know, seasons day in and day out kind of thing. And I think that's something that I think can always just keep getting better and better. And I think just the awareness of the sport, like what you're seeing this year, like so many international players have joined in the NWSL. And I think that speaks to, one, people being intrigued about the NWSL, but also like that buy-in that this actually is the place where people want to be to get better, to develop, and to, you know, go back to their international game and hopefully, obviously, speak highly of the NWSL. And I think it's incredible what you're seeing this year is so many international players making the impact in the NWSL.
Right, it is. It's so refreshing too, because you want the best players to be in the best league, right? And you see the investment and the sponsorships and the money. I mean, that's also a big reason why, you know, I feel like the NWSL is thriving right now, and hopefully it'll continue to do so. But wrapping it up, I want to know what your proudest moment is of yourself, because at times we don't really, you know, tell ourselves how proud we are. And I love talking about this because it means a lot. And I know you're very humble, and I just want to know what is your proudest moment right now through your career up till this point.
Oh man, I've been very fortunate in my career. I feel like I have achieved a lot, both as a collective, on a team, and individually, which I'm very proud of. But I think coming back from pregnancy is like just something that I'm like, wow, Crystal, like you did that. Like that was crazy, but you did it, you know? And I think the only reason I say that is because, one, I think women are incredible. Like, you know, we just take on so much. And one, our bodies are incredible. I think we could do so many amazing things. And I think choosing to start a family, you know, is a choice. Like you want to be a mom. Like I wanted to be a mom. And it was scary to think like, I'm actively choosing this. That means I'm going to take time off. I'm going to grow a baby and not know how my body is going to respond coming back. And I still felt so motivated to be a mom because I knew that it would change my life in the way that I needed to continue my career. And so I'm just so proud of myself for knowing that it was scary, but still knowing that it was going to be everything that I needed to be able to just want to continue playing this game. I think like I look at this game so differently now as a mom. Like I'm just kind of like, my son doesn't care if I shank the ball in the stands. Like, I mean, I'm trying not to do that so I don't embarrass him, but at the same time, he's like smiling down on me and just like waving, and I'm just like.
Do you feel like you're giving more because you want to motivate him to also do and see that, you know, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you love it.
Yes.
That you are having fun.
Yeah, I want to. I'm always trying to show him, like, one, how incredible his mom is. Hey, and then also, just like. I try to do so many things with joy now. Like, I feel like, yes, our life as a player is so hard, but I'm like, on the field, I'm actively trying to like showcase like joy in playing, because like, it's a blessing what we get to do. Like, is it hard? Yes. But it's like, we play a sport for a living. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I feel like everything I do now as a mom is just like, I want to show him like, you could do anything that you set your heart out to do. And you can also find those moments that even in the hard, you can like still enjoy it and just put on display like who you are in all capacity.